Hey friends, welcome back to this YouTube channel. This is part 2 of GATE Architecture 2025 question paper. In the first part, we already covered questions asked in common section of GATE Architecture 2025. This question is divided in 3 parts other than aptitude, and today we are going to discuss its planning section. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. My name is Rahul and you're watching Architecture and Planning with Rahul. So let's just start today's video. First question is affordable housing in partnership. AHP is one of the vertical of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana of Government of India. In AHP, the partnership was envisaged between. So AHP is a partnership scheme under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana that promotes housing for economically weaker sections. It involves states, UTs, ULBs and parastatals partnering with private developers. Some of the key features of this affordable housing in partnership schemes are that it is for EWS category and central government will provide financial assistance. The scheme is based on public-private partnership, that is PPP model. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option B. Let's move to the next question. Which are the two wavelength bands of light spectrum used to calculate the Normalized Difference Vegetation Index NDVI in remote sensing? So first let's see what is NDVI is used for. So it is used for vegetation health monitoring. It helps in crop monitoring, yield prediction, also help in detecting droughts. It is used for water resource management also and provides data on impact of climate change on vegetation. And NDVI is calculated using the near infrared, that is NIR, and red wavelength bands of the light spectrum. So the correct answer of this question is option C, near infrared and red. Let's move to the next question. Blank refers to the benefit when industries, firms cluster together resulting in reduced production cost, improved availability of skilled labor, and increased flow of information and knowledge sharing. So this cluster of industries is known as Agglomeration Economies, which refers to the benefits that industries or firms gains when they cluster together in a specific location. Some of the major benefits of such clusters are reduced production cost, due to sharing of infrastructure, suppliers and services, also get benefited by skilled labor force. They can collaborate easily, hence knowledge sharing and innovation becomes easy. Firms and industries attracts more customer when they are in cluster, therefore good market accessibility. Clusters of industries makes an efficient supply chain model. So the correct answer of this question is agglomeration of economies. Let's move to the next question. As per the right to fair compensation and transparency in land acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013, the blank determines the blank for compensation for land acquisition. So this right to fair compensation and transparency in land acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act of 2013 replaced the Land Acquisition Act of 1894 to provide the fair compensation against the acquired land. Some of the key purpose of this new act are fair compensation, transparency, rehabilitation and resettlement, protection of public interest, consent-based acquisition, and also to safeguard the interest of farmers and tribes. In this act, the collector is responsible for determining the market value of land against the acquired land. The basic criteria to determine the market value of land is given on the screen, but it can vary from case to case. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option A. The collector determines the market value for compensation for land acquisition. Let's move to the next question. Total station is an equipment used for. So total station is a modern surveying instrument that integrates EDM, that is electronic distance measurement, theodolite for angle measurement, and it also process and store data that are recorded during surveying. Some of the important use of total stations are that it used to determine location of unknown object with the help of known reference points. It also measures angles, distance and elevations with high accuracy and therefore used in land surveying, construction and mapping. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option D, determination of coordinates of unknown points relative to a known coordinates. Now let's just quickly see other options given here. Option A, measurement of rainfall intensity is done with help of rain gauge. Option B, noise level is measured by sound level meters. And option C, air quality is measured by air quality monitor. Let's move to the next question. Select the correct statements with regard to traffic analysis zones. So first let's understand what is a traffic analysis zone. So these are the specific areas to study and analyze traffic pattern, vehicular movement and transportation needs. These are generally smaller areas of city with junction and small segment of roads so that it will be easier to understand the traffic behavior of each of these zones. Now let's see the correct statements with regard to traffic analysis zones. So option B, demographic characteristics of TAS will change with new residents moving into the TAS. So this is a correct statement because these traffic analysis zones are dynamic in nature and can experience change due to change in population, change in land use and travel pattern over time. Option C, Cordon line helps in defining the study area within which TAS are located. And this statement is also correct because Cordon lines helps in defining the study area of these traffic analysis zones. Option A and option D are incorrect. So the correct answer of this question is option B and C. Let's move to the next question. As per the Census of India 2011, choose the correct statements regarding the definition of a census town. So as per the Census of India 2011, a rural settlement must have to fulfill three criteria to be a census town. First, the population should be more than 5,000. Second, the population density should be more than 400 persons per square kilometer. And the third is at least 75% of male population should be involved in non-agriculture activities, which means not involved in agriculture or farming activities. So based on this, option A, the minimum population size is 5,000 and option B, the population density of at least 400 persons per square kilometer are correct options of this question. Next question is, match the following planning strategies in group 1 to their corresponding description in group 2. So P is urban sprawl and its definition is expansion of urban areas into rural areas typically characterized by low density. So P matches with 4. Q is smart growth, which is basically concentration of development in compact, walkable urban center to improve health and natural environment. R is Greenfield development and its definition is development on previously undeveloped land. And S is Brownfield development, which is basically redeveloping previously utilized land, often resulting in a change in land use and land cover. So the correct answer is option C, P4, Q3, R2 and S1. Let's move to the next question. Match the following subcategories of urban land use in group 1 with their corresponding broad land use categories in group 2 as per URDPFI Guidelines 2015. So let's see one by one. P is sport complex, comes under recreational. So P will be 2. Q is water bodies, which is a natural feature need to be preserved or protect. So it will come under protective and undevelopable use zone. R is poultry and dairy farming, which is a primary activity. And the last is police station, which comes under public and semi-public land use. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option C. Let's see next question. Match the following curves in group 1 with their corresponding uses in group 2. P is mass curve, which is a graphical representation of cumulative inflow and outflow over time. Q is Lorenz curve, which represents the income and wealth inequality. Density curve provides a transition between tangent stripe of roadway, allowing a vehicle to negotiate a turn. The last is horizontal curve, which is an idealized representation of distribution in which the area under the curve is defined to be 1. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option A. Let's move to the next question. Match the following types of migration in group 1 to their corresponding description in group 2. P is involuntary migration. It is also known as forced migration and involve people being compelled to leave to their homes due to factors that are not in their control, like because of conflict, violation or riots. Therefore, it matches with 3. Next is step migration, which refers to a migration pattern where individual moves in stages before reaching to the final destination. So 1 is the definition of Q. R is circular migration, which refers to repetitive migration movement of an individual to their country to another country, more often due to employment opportunity. So 2 is the correct definition of this. The last one is chain migration. In this type of migration, generally a migrant encourages other people of their hometowns to move to a particular final destination, very similar to the case like in search of work. Number 4 is the definition of chain migration. Therefore, the correct answer of this question is option B. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following characteristics of a house or land is or are considered in hedonic price function? So first, let's see what is hedonic price function. Hedonic price function describes the relationship between a product's characteristics and its price. And from this function, you can evaluate or adjust the price of a product based on several factors. Some key factors that are considered in hedonic pricings are: number 1, its structural attributes, which considers its age, its appearance, and its material. Second is locational attributes, which talks about its location and its surrounding. And the third is environmental attributes, which is about the quality of the surroundings. Now let's see some fields where this hedonic price function is applied. So we can use this function in real estate valuation, environmental economics, urban planning, and in the pricing of consumer goods. Now, based on the definition and application of hedonic price function, option A, quality of the view from the house, which is about the environmental attributes. Option B, low crime rates in the surrounding area, which is about its locational attribute. And option C, number of the bedroom in the house, which is talking about its structural attributes, are the correct answer of this question. Let's see next question. Which of the following is or are the characteristics of urban agglomeration as per the Census of India 2011? So urban agglomeration includes the urbanized areas that falls beyond the administrative limits of a town. Other than this, urban agglomeration can be 2 or more contiguous towns. Those over the period of time are functioning as a single unit. For example, there are 2 towns, town 1 and town 2. Both are very close to each other. They may or may not share a common boundary. In this example, they are not sharing. Now, over the period of time, they are expanded beyond their administrative limits, which we will call outgrowth area. And because of this outgrowth area, town 1 and town 2 are combined together and working as a single unit. And we can call it an urban agglomeration. Some Indian examples are Mumbai urban agglomeration, Kolkata urban agglomeration, and Delhi urban agglomeration. So the correct answer of this question is option A and option C. Moving to the next question. The spot speeds of 8 vehicles in a traffic stream are 42, 52, 56, X, 53, 62, 65 and 48, where X is the spot speed of 4th vehicle. Time mean speed is also given 56.25 km per hour. First, we have to find the value of X and then the space mean speed of the traffic stream. Let's solve this question. So spot speed of every vehicle is given except 4. Also, time mean speed of the traffic stream is given. And what is a time mean speed? So it is the average speed of vehicles passing a point. On the basis of this, we have to calculate space mean speed. Space mean speed is the average speed of vehicles occupying a section of road. So this is the definition of both the type of speed. This question is related to transportation planning. Let's get back to the question. So first we have to calculate the value of X or the spot speed of 4th vehicle. So average spot speed of this traffic stream is given, that is 56.25 km per hour. Now by applying average formula, we can calculate the value of X. The formula is sum of all the units divided by number of units. Here total vehicles are 8, so we will divide the sum by 8. Average value is given, so simply putting the value, we can get the value of X, that is 72. Then step 2 is calculating space mean speed, and its formula is number of units divided by summation of 1 upon spot speed of every vehicle. Putting the value, we will get this. On calculating this, we will get 8 upon 0.146. And on dividing, we will get space mean speed equals to 54.79 km per hour, which is the correct answer of this question. Let's move to the next question. This is also a transportation planning question. An individual chooses a transport mode for a particular trip based on 3 attributes: cost of journey, in-vehicle travel time to reach destination, and out-of-vehicle time taken to access mode of respective stops. The values are given in tabular form. Also, general utility equation is given. In this question, we have to find the estimated probability of choosing bus by using logit model So let's solve this question. So we have given a table with all the attributes of all the three type of modes. Also the general utility equation is given. So our first step is to calculate the utility for each mode. Start with the rail mode. So simply put the equation. Values of x, y and z is given in the table. Similarly, we will calculate this for bus and also for paratransit using the same general utility equation. Calculate this value for each mode. We will get this. Our second step is to calculate probability using logit model. Its formula is probability of choosing bus equals to e raised to the power utility of rail divided by e raised to the power utility of rail plus e raised to the power utility of bus plus e raised to the power utility of paratransit. Here e is the constant value and its value is somewhere around 2.718, but it doesn't matter in our case because utility value of each mode came similar, that is minus 120. Putting the value in equation, we will get this. Since all the power of e is similar, we can simply replace e to the power minus 20 with 1. So we will get the probability as 1 by 3, that is equals to 0.33, and that's the answer of this question. Let's move to the next question. A 4-arm uncontrolled unsignalized urban intersection of both-way traffic is illustrated in the figure. Vehicles approaching the intersection from the directions A, B, C and D can move to either left, right or continue straight, but no U-turn is allowed. In the given situation, the maximum number of vehicular crossing conflict points for this intersection is. So let's start with basic terminologies. This part of the road is known as intersection and this straight part is road segment. In this 4-armed intersection, we have to only find the total number of vehicular crossing conflict point. And what is a crossing conflict point? These are location at an intersection where the paths of two or more vehicles intersect. Let's visualize this. So this is an 4-legged intersection in which vehicle can go straight from all the 4 directions, which is shown here by 4 different color lines. Vehicle can also take right turn from any of the road segment. Also, they can take a left turn. This path is shown by the dotted lines. Now, there is no U-turn is allowed as per the question. So, these are all the paths which vehicles can take from any of the road segment. Now, we have to just calculate the points where vehicles are intersecting their paths. I am showing those points with yellow marks, which you can see that on the screen. These intersection points or conflict points are created because of a vehicle taking a right turn or going straight, and these are total 16 crossing points. Other than this, there are points of merging and diverging of vehicles. These pink color points are merging points where 2 or more vehicles are merging with each other. So in a 4-legged intersection, there are total 8 merging points. Similarly, we will count diverging points which are shown in brown color. These are basically the points at which a vehicle has a choice to move to more than one direction. And here there are 8 diverging intersections. Hence there are total 32 intersections. But in question it is only asked total number of crossing conflict points, which are only 16 in this 4-legged intersection. Therefore the correct answer of this question is 16 crossing conflict points. So friends, these were all the questions asked in planning section of GATE Architecture 2025. I hope this video was helpful. Support me by liking this video. Also share with your friends who are preparing for architecture and planning exams. And don't forget to subscribe this channel. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye. You're watching Architecture and Planning with Rahul.